What's up, YouTube? I'm going to start sharing some of the things that I cook for my dialysis diet. And today for lunch, I'm going to be having an omelet with some mushrooms and bell peppers. I am going to be putting some cheese in this omelet, but I've had a parathyroid reduction, so I'm not as concerned about my phosphorus intake as a patient who has an overactive parathyroid. I'll go over that discussion in another video, and if you're wondering if you're a patient and you're wondering about that, check your labs, your PTH levels are on there, and talk to your dietitian and ask what your parathyroid hormones are. Mine was up at 2300 before my surgery, and I believe it was it's supposed to be around 100. It's an interesting thing about parathyroid and parathyroid surgery. They did not do this to me, actually. I'm kind of have mixed feelings about this, but I guess you can take the parathyroid out of your neck and relocate it into your arm, and it will just start working just like it was in your neck. They do this sometimes to patients because it's expected that the parathyroid will continue to regrow after surgery. So they put it in the neck so that they can pull it out again or get at it easier. I'm sorry, they take it out of the neck and put it in the arm so that they can get it at it easier later. But mine doesn't seem to be regrowing, so I don't seem to have that problem. So I'm gonna get these things cooking. This thing is a trip. This thing is pretty much as old as I can remember. It's been around for a long time, but it keeps on clicking. We can go ahead and use a bit of butter. Really not quite sure about GoPro angles. It's really hard to know exactly how you're filming when you're using a GoPro. I'm gonna go in with the mushrooms first. Could let that pan get a little hotter, but it doesn't matter that much. I'm gonna let these mushrooms cook down quite a bit. This is a lot more mushrooms and bell peppers than I need. I may use them for a quiche or something else. Menu planning is something that I'm really working on, and I'm not very good at, but is very important for us dialysis patients, and I guess anybody who's struggling with food issues. Us dialysis patients aren't the only people with food issues. It's pretty common, in fact. We work so hard, or not we, not me. I do my dialysis and live my life. Normal people work so hard, they don't really have time to eat. So, menu planning and diet is definitely something we all need to think about. I got my mushrooms and bell peppers cooking, and we're going to crack some eggs. I'll get a double. Some people put a little bit of water or some milk or something to thin it out. You make it a little bit fluffier, but you don't have to. Just get it good and beat up. Alright. So the size of your pan does matter a bit, and how clean. This is actually a little dirty after that, but I think I can get away with it. You really can't make too deep of an omelet you need to keep your omelet kind of wide and flat. Otherwise, it's not going to cook quite right. I'm going to use a bit of butter to help me because I'm still a bit out of practice. One of the key things to make an omelet is a hot pan. You really want that pan good and hot to go in the beginning. Roll that butter around a little bit. In. So the bottom layer is going to cook real quick. You're going to scoop that off, put it in the middle, and repeat. And this is going to get the pan to cool down, but it's going to cook some of your eggs, give you a little bit of a foundation, and then you can start to let it come back. And turn that down. Not down that much. All right, so now that I'm starting to get it formed, I don't want to break it up. Now is when I would turn it to a scramble. I'm going to start to define the edges, but I'm going to roll that top around. I'm sure there are better videos out there on how to make an omelet if you really want to look it up. The whole point is you got to find some way to eat your eggs. Eggs really are one of the best proteins for us as dialysis patients. All right. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit for the flip. Wow. And fling some butter around. We're going to put some butter right on the edge here. And that's going to help us soak up and around underneath. Now we're getting it break free. You got to let it get kind of solid. So I am way out of practice on flipping an omelet. So this could be a total disaster. That's also why I'm going to use just a little extra butter. All right. I wanted to be a chef when I was younger. There we go. All right. And you're pretty much done after that. The top is already pretty good. So then you put your stuff on half of it. And you just slide it out and make a mess. And fold it over. Doesn't look too bad. You know, dialysis has really made food hard for me. It's very depressing and a struggle, even when it was my dream and my love when I was younger. Presentation really does matter, and making an effort matters. I know it's really hard to make an effort when you don't want to eat at all, but you'll enjoy it more if you do make an effort and you actually make some decent food. So, hope this makes you guys a little bit hungry.